News, weather, sports, and more. It's Drive Time Live with Mark Hahn on KXCJ.
And it is 45 degrees currently, heading for a low right tonight, about 29. And it's going to cool off as we get in closer to the weekend. David Rosler is with me. I suppose Kathy is behind you somewhere, right?
She sure is. Say hi, Kathy.
Hi there, Mark.
Hey, Kathy. All right, David Rosler, he's a movie producer, director. Your forte, would it be fair to say, is 3D effects in movies with lots of effects. And I love lots of effects in movies and CGI. Love those things. Last time we talked...
As long as the script is good.
Yeah, well, that's true, too. There's other ones...
You know, it's a bit of a red-letter day for me on KSCJ because I've been on before with you years ago, but I got to follow Rand Paul on Dana Lash, and you were just talking classical music.
Yeah,
which I am a big fan. And by the way, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, they did an album based on Mussorgsky's Pictures at an Exhibition.
There you go. See,
there you go.
David, you should have chimed in. Probably should have called and said, "Hey, Woody, I got some more information for you about ELP." All right, that's the way it goes. So, David, the last time we talked about several things. Number one, we talked about your movie Orbiter, which is still in the works. But we also talked about shadow banning, and I want to touch base on that first. Social media blocking conservative or Christian thought and Christian messages. Is that still happening, David, the way it used to be?
Oh, yeah. Elon Musk may have bought Twitter, but it is apparent, with all due respect to the man, that he is not in control of it. He's not in control of it. People are still getting shadow banned. They're yelling about shadow ban. I put a tweet out 2 nights ago where I said that, and I was tweeting to some U.S. reps, GOP reps, saying, in no circumstances whatsoever should any negotiation for any more government spending even be discussed until the border is closed. Period. Right. Close it first, and then talk.
Right.
Because it's already been determined that Biden is not well, and I feel, can't be trusted. And I don't think anybody else can feel he can be trusted. And who knows, he may forget the deal that he made. So he needs to close off the border. So what happened was I posted that several times, and then I went in the following morning, and it says an error has occurred. You cannot sign in, and it's been that way for 2 days. So trust me. I mean, we used to get thousands of replies because of the kind of things Kathy too, because of the kind of things we did. We've been working together for about 10 years now, and you're lucky if you get 5.
Wow,
and it's not much has changed. Not much has changed.
Well, people rely on social media, and people like yourself as well. Movie producers, directors, you want to maybe highlight a movie that you're working on or that's coming out soon. You want to get the publicity out there and get the buzz going, and it's got to be frustrating to be silenced by that.
It's more than frustrating. It's destructive, and they know it. If you have a certain point of view, if you're a Christian or if you're a conservative, they destroy all sorts of businesses by making it impossible for them to reach out. Jack Dorsey had created a single place where everyone would go to discuss things, and then they knocked everybody off except the people who agreed with them politically. By the way, if they want to know who's behind the shadow banning and the trolling, go to stampouttrolls.com. I put that up years ago out of anger for what's going on. Everybody talks about Yoel Roth, who was the previous head of trust and safety at Twitter, but he had only been there for about a year or two. And what you need to do is go back to Del Harvey, real name Allison Shea, and her partner, Xavier Von Erck. And they're the culprits. and it's awful. And Xavier, he's made me a personal target because I stood up to him. And he even said, he even DM'd me on Facebook and said that if I was anywhere near January 6th, he was going to search out my face with facial recognition software and report me to the FBI.
Yeah, well, if you miss payments on the taxes, they can find you no matter where you go. You could crawl under a rock in Tibet, and they'll find you.
I'm not worried about that, but I am worried about weirdos.
Yeah.
Destroying our business. Very, very difficult to raise money. Very, very difficult to function. Because when they know who you're talking to, they'll call you. They'll call them and defame them. And we lost a couple of actors on Orbiter because they had been receiving a lot of threatening DMs. And these people are real psychopaths. They're not just little juvenile middle-aged troublemakers. They're sick.
Didn't Musk clean that up when he took over Twitter? Now X, didn't he clean it up? I thought he made it more of a fair platform.
I don't think he has much control. I think they're allowing the big names to get out there throttled, obviously, which means their reach is not as great as it should be. But for the little guys, for like us, no.
All right, so let's talk about the movie now. And you've been having to fight this, and this, of course, the shadow banning and the silencing by media. But you had the movie Orbiter we had talked about back then too. As a matter of fact, on that website there was a little testimonial from myself and some other people that you talked to. I was shocked. I almost forgot all about that. It's like, whoa. That was me.
Well, it's a very elaborate project, and if you look at the comparison, our production values actually exceed that of, in the opinion of professionals I know who would tell me if they felt I was wrong, of Warner Brothers Gravity. So we're very, very proud, but on a very limited budget. It's a very piecemeal effort, and we were letting everybody see its development because you figure it's so elaborate. Who's going to rip you off? Because it's just that expansive. And you tell your audience what you think you saw from the Orbiter. There's a website, orbitermovie.com, that has all this information. What did you think?
There were side-by-side comparisons on your movie, on Orbiter, and some of the trailers that I had seen, some of the footage I had seen before on that. But when you showed the new movie, now, is it ISS or is it Gravity?
It is.
Okay.
No. Gravity is the old one we were comparing ourselves to show that we were legitimate.
All right.
And ISS is the new one that bombed dramatically. It's very, very cheap-looking piece of junk, quite frankly. And that's even more dispiriting when in your First Amendment protected personal opinion you feel that someone has ripped you off, and then you see how they did it, and it looks like junk. It's very, very, very badly done.
Well, the storyline, everything else follows what you had for Orbiter. Everything was and Mark, to the T.
No, it's the same concept. Even some of the shot compositions look familiar. I'm sorry, Kathy wanted to say something.
Mark, if I can add to that, I know over on Rotten Tomatoes, that site, the audience reviews I was looking at 2 or 3 weeks ago when the ISS Hollywood movie came out, and noticed that their trailer and our trailer, their synopsis, their storyline, our storyline was almost identical. So I asked a couple of people on the Rotten Tomatoes threads that I was reading, and they agreed. They said it's the same thing. In my opinion, it looks exactly.
No. But what were you telling me earlier, Kathy, about the one thing that they liked?
Oh, the trailer and the storyline. That's all they got.
Yeah. It appears that the only thing they got off the Orbiter movie website was the premise. And it appears to be the only thing that people liked in the movie.
Yeah, it took the idea and ran with it too. Now we're almost out of time here, David and Kathy back there. So let's talk about a new project. Now, first of all, I don't want to leave a loose end on this. With Orbiter, when do you project that you're going to have that released?
Well, we're going to have to finish it.
Okay,
And
so it's still a work in
not-
progress.
Oh, yes. Well, when you're a small independent outfit and you're doing something that competes with Hollywood, you've got to, it takes a while.
Okay.
But Christian movies, we need them now more than ever. Because just today, Gateway pundit Kathy found this. Democratic state senator from Arizona, Juan Mendez, hosted on the Arizona state floor the Satanic Temple of Arizona and praised them for their good work. This stuff's getting out of control.
Well,
And
I don't know if you noticed that, but here in Iowa, in our own capital, in Des Moines, there was a satanic statue that was put there in freedom of speech. But it made a lot of people angry about that. David Rosler, my guest. Now, David, I'm going to wrap this up here by saying you have the Orbiter movie, which is still work in progress.
And we've got a new movie that's coming up.
Exactly.
It's a World War II drama. They can go to RoslerStudios.com. Kathy had an idea. Can I give out an address? If anybody wants to donate, you can't do it in crowdfunders because they've shut us all down.
Okay, go ahead. We've got 30 seconds.
Okay. The address is DR, as in David Rosler Studios, 479 Sam Ridley Parkway, Suite 105, Post Mailbox PMB 312, Smyrna, SMYRNA, Tennessee, 37167. The only way that people can help us, except for investors, is send a check. And if any investors want to call, they can call 615-439-0161 after they look at the website. But we sure could use help because when your voice is just cut cold from the rest of the world, it's real difficult to build a business.
All right, very good, David Rosler.
Yeah.
And Kathy. David is a 3D film producer and director and has been on Drive Time Live before, and it's an ongoing battle, not only against social media, but also those who steal an idea and put it on screen there, too. And there's a side-by-side comparison that you could probably see on your website there, too.
Orbitermovie.com is the website. Yeah, and what bothers me the most, I think, is they took all the Christianity out and they replaced it with woke messages.
All right. And you got to watch out. There's more of that around. David, thank you very much. Kathy, thank you, and best of luck, and stay in touch.
You bet. We sure will. Thanks for having us on.
You bet.